Welcome to Get Your Bell Rung Pro Wrestling Podcast. Tonight, we're doing a recap of Friday Night SmackDown of February 6th. With me tonight, the co-host of Rasslin Memories, the one, the only Grizzled vet. Also with us tonight, WCW veteran, author of Looking Up at the Lights. I'm talking about Robbie Idol. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Man, doing good for watching 3 hours of SmackDown, but
yeah, this fucking Friday night shit, man. Let's jump into
the people.
Yep. Let's get into it. You know what? Tonight wasn't too bad, especially after watching freaking Wednesday Night Dynamite. Tonight's show looked great compared to what happened on Wednesday night, in my opinion. But there was a few spots tonight that I'm like, oh, and I'm not talking about, bad creative shit. I'm talking about some landings that look pretty nasty tonight, some pretty nasty spots. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And there was a couple times I'm like, fuck, I literally held my breath for a second, hoping that these people would get up. Overall, Grizzle, start with you. Your thoughts on the show overall, quick,
It wasn't bad. If you compare it to Dynamite, yeah, this was obviously the better offering of the two. So I enjoyed it. Promos weren't too bad. Matches were decent. Couple bad spots, but you ain't gonna hit a home run. Not every time.
Yeah. I don't like comparing WWE and AEW, but I'm saying as far as what was easier to watch tonight for myself was definitely easier than, even with 3 hours, than what Dynamite was. Robbie, your thoughts overall on the show?
It was okay. So, I mean, yeah, a couple bad landings there. Like you said, and we'll get into them, but they were early. But yeah, it was, promos, everything, a lot of stuff they did were pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Herb Simmons says, good evening. Thank you, Herb, for joining us. Always, and I'm honored whenever you're watching. And speaking of Mr. Herb, real quick, guys, let's take care of a little bit of business. May 8th and 9th. FanFest 4, guys. SICW.org. I'm telling you, this is an event you don't want to miss. So many legends is going to be there. Mickey James, JBL, amongst many, many more. Again, SICW.org, where you can get your tickets, find out who's there, and constantly check to see the announcements of who else is going to be there. Don't miss it. Let's get into this show tonight. It started off, the way it started off, I'm like, I thought it didn't start off the way I wanted it to. Thankfully, it got better. And, I'm not necessarily saying that the way it started, it was terrible. It's just the fact of the matter is we did the whole Drew and Cody Rhodes thing. We're there again. And it's not something I want to see. But nonetheless, it's there. Drew's coming to the ring. And, of course, Cody Rhodes attacks him, beating the living tar out of him. And then Cody cuts a promo. And he's pissed. He's like, look. You freaking got me eliminated from Royal Rumble, a match, by the way. You weren't even fucking in. So here we go again with this whole Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes thing. And guys, I'll be honest with you, why even go through the Elimination Chamber match? Because I think we all know, unless we're all going to be swerved, that we're going to get Drew McIntyre against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I'm predicting night number 1. What about you, Robbie?
Yeah, I can see it going that way, but I hope not. I mean, I just want them to move on from this. I've seen enough Drew and Cody to last me the rest of my life. So,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else one could say, Grizzle.
I see a triple threat. I think it's going to be Drew, Cody,
You're
and
right.
Somehow they're going to make it a triple threat, which will make it at least a little different. It won't just be the Drew Cody thing, but
Yeah, and you kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
I didn't want to jump it because I was going to say that.
Well, you're right, because later on in the show, what happens, I wrote in my notes, triple threat. I was
Okay.
there.
leave it to Mike to do
I wasn't
that.
jumping the gun. You guys offered your opinion on what the match was going to be. I offered my opinion on my opinion was going to be.
One thing I liked about this interview, Cody mentioning Orton Anderson, Mandy Fernandez, fighting in the waiting room while during his birth. That was kind of cool. Hearing Manny's name, haven't heard his name in a while. Next, we go to Kathy Kelly with Kiana James and Julia talking about their tag team match, the tag match tonight for the championship, and also Julia saying this is the first step to her becoming the double champion. Then she goes on to talk about Elimination Chamber. I don't know, guys. Grizzled, anything about this promo?
Nothing earth-shaking. Standard promo wasn't anything horrible that I wanted to mute the TV on. So
right. What about you, Robbie?
Yeah, I agree with that. It was standard,
Yeah.
What I'd like to see them do though is split those two up and just let Kiana go on her own. After watching her in the Rumble.
I agree and I disagree. I would like to see Kiana James on her own, but I think that would possibly hurt Julia because I think she's a mouthpiece.
Right.
And that's the thing. I don't know, Grizzle, what do you think, man? Do you think that Julia can get through this on her own without a manager because of needing that mouthpiece?
I think I agree with you. Kiana is the mouthpiece of it, and I think Julia kind of needs it because, a lot of the girls, the Japan girls, English isn't exactly, they don't command it very well. So,
right.
But,
right. Bob Cook says he didn't show the show, but it sucks. The wrestling fan mentality. Be nice, Bob.
It's never good according to the internet wrestling community.
I was trying not to attack him tonight too much. Next, we go to our first match. A match that I actually ended up enjoying. I thought it was a damn good match. Women's tag team match. Tag championship match. Actually, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, the champions, against Julia and Kiana James. For a moment, I thought that Julia and Kiana James was going to take the titles. That I actually got a little excited because I don't want Rhea Ripley or Io Sky as tag team champions. Not because I don't like either one of these women, but because I miss Rhea Ripley in singles action, to be honest with you. That's my only reason. Grizzle, the match was good though. Very good match. Grizzle?
It was a good match. Good opening. We had a promo that wasn't that bad with Cody and all that. So then the match was good, like you said. I have no problem with Rhea and Io as the tag champs because we all know that the women's tag team division is just singles wrestlers slapped together. There's no actual quote teams, so I have no issue with it. I didn't see where it looked like they were going to win. I mean, obviously, you got a couple spots where you're like 1, 2, that, but nothing ever really stuck out to me.
There was the one spot where Julia, I think it might have been her finisher on Io Sky, and right at that last moment, Rhea Ripley came in and saved it. I thought that was going to be it.
I didn't see that, but
yeah. And this was one of those matches. Io Sky took a nasty when she went to dive. I think it was onto Kiana James. She landed, looked like right in the freaking head. I'm like, oh man, like things got in slow motion for a second for me. And she got up doing her right away. And I'm like, thank God, Robbie.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wow, because she almost like overshot her.
Yeah.
When she went through the ropes. But yeah, because I thought they were going to switch there for a minute because you didn't see Rhea in the picture at all.
Right.
And she came in. So yeah, like Julia hit her with that knee shot and whatever. Yep. And we thought maybe they're taking them off of them, but they didn't, which I mean, I'm glad. Match was good though. I liked it.
Yep. I agree, and I'll be honest, initially I'm like, about the match. I forgot this match taking place tonight. because I'm not invested in Rhea or Io as tag team individuals. But surprisingly, yeah, I got really into this match. I thought it was a really good match. Next, we go backstage. Nick Aldis with Cody Rhodes telling Cody, you got to go, and saying your only chance at the belt is Elimination Chamber qualification. You got to win it next week. And Cody said what he said. He went off on his way. Grizzled, or just start with you, Robbie. Anything you want to add?
Man, I mean, the promo had its place and stuff. At least they didn't drag it out, so it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, tonight. Look, that was tonight's thing. Was either you were part of the elimination qualifying matches tonight, or next week. Grizzle.
The promo was fine. I think everything this week, except for maybe one or two exceptions, everything had a point, everything had a purpose, right. Everything led to something, which I like. When it's just these random promos that don't have shit to do with China, then I get irritated. But today's show, everything kind of blended together and everything had a purpose.
Yeah, I agree. We go backstage, The Miz and Drag It Off, having somewhat of a little bit of a heated conversation. Carmelo Hayes interrupts and says, look, I kind of determined who I'm going to pick to face me. And he tells Drag It Off, you're going to get the next shot. Miz, you don't deserve shit, dude. But you know what? You're going to get your ass kicked tonight because we have a match. But it's not for the title. Again, as Grizzled, as you said, this promo had a purpose. We seen what happened last week with that match with Miz interfering. The Miz thought that he was going to get the title shot. Nope, sorry. So I didn't mind it. Your thoughts?
This promo confused me for a second because I thought Carmelo was saying, Ilya, you get the title shot. Miz, you don't get nothing. But now we're going to have a match. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why is he not getting the title? You just said he wasn't getting title shot. It took me a second. And then I caught, oh, wait, it's a non-title match. Okay, I got it. Right. That bit of information kind of like threw me off for a second because it didn't make sense. But I was able to obviously catch it up. I'm like, okay, non-title match. Got it. I thought it was going to be Carmelo Sin. And honestly, I thought this was going to be Oba Femi coming out and going. And then Oba was going to be the big surprise, and he was going to flatten the Miz. That's kind of what I was expecting for a second, and then I realized it was a non-title match.
Okay. Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I mean, wasn't like Vet said, and and they did for the most part. Everything had its place in it, So it all kind of led, kind of guided you in the direction they were going, but it was, it all served its purpose.
Yeah. Next, we had that non-title match, Miz versus Carmelo. This is what surprised me. I actually like this match. I respect the Miz. I really do. He has his place. He is deservingly a future Hall of Famer. But it doesn't mean that I am entertained by the Miz anymore with his matches. I'm just not. But this match is a decent match. I have no complaints. Robbie?
Yeah, no, it was fine. And another nasty bump when Mello went outside.
Yes. Yeah.
I
was like, this dude's neck's broke.
Yeah, because when he landed on his back, I saw that and I was like, and you could tell it did bother him a little bit, So those the first two matches, they had those two nasty bumps.
Right.
Yeah, but the match was fine. So
Grizzle?
I think Miz is I think people kind of underestimate the Miz now because I think his character doing promos on it overshadows his ring work. They don't have him do as much ring work anymore. They like to have him as a talker. And I think people forget that when he wants to be or when he has to be, Miz is a good worker in the ring and can produce a good match. But I think he's overshadowed by the character and people kind of forget that. But no, the match was good. That one spot, like you said, was kind of fugly. Yeah. But the match is good. And I love the finish. The flip out of the Skull Crusher finale into the first 30, I thought that was cool. That was a good finish.
Yeah, I agree. I actually put that in my notes. Yeah, I think what it is for the Miz is because I used to like the Miz when he was younger. Um, he's obviously older now, right? And he slowed down in the ring, which it makes sense why you would slow down in the ring. Um, but he's almost too slow for me now in the ring. And I think that's what's kind of taking me away from him. It's almost like he is too careful in a way, if that makes sense, Robbie.
But yeah, it makes sense.
And again, I get it, but
Right. I mean, and I guess at this stage of his career, who knows how many years he's got left. That you don't see him taking the unnecessary risks or bumps or stuff like that. Which I mean, he's been there for a long time, so he's earned it.
And I'm not even talking about unnecessary stuff. It's even the basic stuff. It's like he's constantly thinking about it or just being over, careful with it. He slowed way down. And again, I get it. He's at that age now. He wants to reserve whatever he has left with the company. I understand it, but it's still taking me out of his matches. Grizzled.
He strikes me now, Miz, kind of like a if you go back to the 80s, you look at a guy like Tito Santana. Can still produce in the ring when he needs to, but for the most part is very basic, very kind of complacent in the matches. But his job is to go out there and put the other guy over,
right,
and make it look good. And that's fine. Miz has been in the ring in their WWE for 20 years now. Right. I think he's got his spot. He's not going to get a title. He's not going to get a big run for anything. He's the guy that's there. He'll get a small feud to make somebody else look good because that's his job now. And I don't think he has an issue with that. I think he's probably perfectly fine with it. He's earned that spot.
No, absolutely. I completely agree. Next, we go backstage again with Tiffany Stratton with Kathy Kelly. They're talking about her return, her eyes on the spot in the Elimination Chamber. She's interrupted by Chelsea Green and Alba Fire, who complain about being overlooked and set the stage for their qualifier match next. But before that, a commercial. Then we come back to a backstage vignette with the Wyatt Six complaining about the Lost Landry again, mocking Solo, and saying, sometimes you need to be fearful, even when you're with people or by yourself. This was the only promo throughout the night that I just didn't care about at all. Grizzle?
I didn't mind it. It just kind of fits along into the Wyatt Six MFT storyline. But they weren't doing anything really to push that storyline this week. So I don't think it was necessary. They could have just put it up on their YouTube channel or something. I mean, it was okay as far as vignettes go, but it just, since there wasn't anything really for that storyline this week, it didn't fit.
Yeah. Robbie?
Yeah, I just wish Bo would get like his own personality instead of because he seems like he's trying to come off as Bray.
Right.
And I'd rather him just try to do it in his own way. But he's trying to, and I get it, you want to keep his legacy going, but
Yeah.
So.
Bob says, talk about lost the shovel of nobody gives a shit. The Wyatt Six are deep in the hole. I don't know. Would you go that far saying that no one gives a shit?
No, I think people do.
I wouldn't say no one gives a shit. I would just say that without those tag belts now, they're kind of just floating around a little bit until they do the thing with the MFT. Then they'll disappear for a bit and they'll come back and do something else. I would say just right now they're treading water because they don't have the belt, whatever. So.
I think part of the problem is that they're never there. All the other storylines, you're getting active, they're there, right? You're seeing them, they're interacting in some way. This storyline, the Wyatt Six, they're barely there. So I think it's hard to stay invested in it when you only see the MFT there, but the Wyatt Six are never around. Agree, disagree, Robbie?
Agree. I agree.
Yeah, Grizzled.
They need to be more part of the TV. Yeah. Their contribution is all the vignettes, so they're obviously pre-recorded well in advance. Hell, they might have the whole series of vignettes for this storyline already recorded. So then they're really necessary for TV, but you know.
Yeah. Next, we go to the Women's Elimination Chamber qualifier. Tiffany Stratton versus Lash Legend versus Chelsea Green. You know what? I can't believe I'm going to even say this. This is probably, since she's been on the main roster, the first time I'm going to say that Lash Legend didn't look terrible. Oftentimes, we're very critical of her. She didn't look terrible tonight. I was honestly hoping that Chelsea Green would win so we could have something different. And then, look, you want to talk about who the crowd was behind. As much as they like Tiffany, they were behind Chelsea tonight. They really were. Grizzle?
I would have gone for a Chelsea victory myself, but it was obvious Tiffany coming back. Tiffany's in the promo. I'm like, okay, it's going to be Tiffany winning. And you're right. Lash didn't look bad, but I mean, look who she was entering with.
Right.
You know, Tiffany and Chelsea are able to hold their own and make it look good. So, you know, if you're in there with someone who can carry it, you know, you can look good. Lash looked decent. Match was okay. Like I said, no bad matches this week, but yeah.
Right.
The match was decent.
Yep. Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for a Chelsea because I figured you could, if you put Chelsea over and put her in, you have, you know, Tiffany, because they always do one last final entrant anyways, and you just put Tiffany in that match and have her win.
Right.
I saw a couple spots that Lance screwed up in, so I'm going to be critical of Lance. But not as bad, but still, I don't know if she's, you know, kind of adapted to the big lights yet and all that, you know, so I don't know, like, did they bring her up too soon? But match was good. Like I said, like, I agree with you guys. I would have loved to see Chelsea, though. I think she's earned it. She's earned that.
Right.
Have you seen the video that's going around today? The Matt Cardona video?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Matt Cardona.
There's a Matt Cardona. It's some show he's on or something he did, and they give him a bun, he thought it was like a muffin, and he's like, "Oh, here, try it." And he goes, "What is it?" And it's a Chelsea bun, and I know what a Chelsea bun is. He never knew what a Chelsea bun was, so they go, "Oh, it's a Chelsea bun." And he just offhandedly makes jokes. Oh, I've had a lot of Chelsea buns. And then he's like, oh, shit, her parents are going to see this. And then he just starts dying laughing because the freaking host gave him a Chelsea bun to try.
That's funny. Speaking of, and I actually posted it, guys, on my Facebook page, KG Landry, a 50-minute interview with MJF that took place yesterday after his match on Wednesday. It was a decent little interview. So, encourage you to check it out. Again, it's on my page, KG Landry on Facebook.
I saw some pieces of that, and I saw the Seth Rollins thing with him too.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were gonna go because have you seen there's been a few things on social media where people are taking shots at Michael Hayes
Chelsea came out and spoke against or spoke out about what Michael Hayes said. Mm-hmm. I forgot to post it, so I'll post it.
But I mean, and it was funny because and I do agree with, there was a chick that posted and she was like, because if you look at the Freebirds, me and Rick talked about this at one time, and it wasn't anything that he said about Chelsea or whatever. He was the mouthpiece. He was the mouthpiece of the Freebirds. Mm-hmm. Buddy and Terry were the workers, you know?
Well, yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah, but so, I mean, for him to say that about Chelsea, I mean,
Yeah, but at the same time, and I agree with you, he was the mouthpiece, and Terry and Bam Bam Gordy was the workers, but that doesn't mean that in the position that he's in, he doesn't have the eye or he doesn't have the perspective to know if someone should be put in a certain position or not, right? Now, saying that, do I agree with what he said that Chelsea Green should not be at the same level, main event level, as your Charlotte Flair, as your Tiffany Stratton? You know what? Maybe the Chelsea Green that I've only seen on WWE before I went and researched her, I would have agreed with them. But the Chelsea Green that I've seen in indie promotions, that I've seen in Lucha Underground, the Chelsea Green that I know how talented she is now, I completely disagree with them.
Right.
I think that if you give her that opportunity, a lot of mouths may drop because I think she may steal the spotlight if she was put in that position. And that's just my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, like the Lucha Underground, you watch, you go back, you pull up some of her stuff, like even from the indies with Britt Baker and stuff like that. She's good. She holds her own. I mean, you definitely put her, but again, WWE has put her in a category that this is what we want out of you, instead of like they've toned down other people.
And you know what? And honestly, I can only imagine how much better she probably is as a worker than what she was even back then if they gave her that opportunity, because now she also has that experience in front of the large crowd. She's had that much more training, right? So again, I think there's some women that should be a little nervous about her being put in that spotlight, because I think that she may steal it. Grizzle?
I think Chelsea Green's hella talented, and that comments from Michael Hayes. Well, no, I mean, like you said, Michael Hayes, he's got the eye for talent. He's been in this business for, decades and on. Just because he was, just the mouthpiece of the Freebirds, he was still new, good wrestling, and he still got that. But as far as Chelsea Green goes, no. The Chelsea Green we see here, okay, a little bit more character than what you saw in the indie scene. I never watched a lot of Lucha Underground because I never got the opportunity to see it. It wasn't on any channel I had here at that time. But now later I have seen it, and she did that match with Penta on the Lucha, and that thing is fucking amazing. They couldn't do that in WWE; it would never be allowed. But Chelsea's good. I mean, they give her a shot; she could easily be a main event. I mean, I don't see why she couldn't get a run at the title.
And this is the thing, Grizzle. Though, yes, back in Lucha Underground, a lot of shit that she was doing aren't things that they would be allowed to do on WWE now. But that doesn't mean that she shouldn't be allowed to be more of a worker, the actual worker that she is in the ring.
Oh, I agree.
Chelsea Green can actually get in that ring and be a worker and not do a lot of the stuff that she was doing and still be the top there. And look, I'm a guy that was extremely critical of her a year ago, extremely critical of her, because I was only exposed to Chelsea Green from WWE. I didn't remember her from Lucha Underground until I started going back and watching shit. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm wrong. God damn, I'm wrong. She's been WWE-nized is the problem. Grizzle?
Well, yeah, no. I mean, and a lot of that's the case. These people are just like hella superstars on the indie scene, and then they get to WWE, and they have to be, as you call it, WWE-nized. But that's just kind of the price you pay. If they want to make the money and have the contract, they're going to have to play, by their rules. So,
right.
I mean, it happens with a lot of guys and girls in the WWE.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, next we go backstage.
Okay, I'm going to take a shot at Michael Hayes on this. I know he's been around wrestling a long time and this and that, but in WWE has missed on some guys, and just because of what his perspective is, I think he's kind of missing the boat on her.
Michael Hayes is very old school, unfortunately.
Right.
He's still back in that Texas, Georgia territory wrestling.
Right. And
which is a whole different game.
Right. And I love Jim Cornette. And Jim Cornette hates today's product. And I mean, I love Jim Cornette, was a super guy, but he hates today's product. And, because they're all, they from old school and stuff like that. But think about, like, WWE missed on Swerve. They missed on Tony Storm, just because they had an idea, this is what we're going to do with you, and they didn't fit into that idea, so they let them go.
Right, but this is the thing, though, and fuck, I can't believe I'm taking up for WWE. But I'm going to. This is the thing. When you've been a company, as long as they've been a company, right, you got to forget, yes, this is the massive number one wrestling promotion, but this machine is ran by humans. They're going to get shit wrong. They're going to miss the boat on things. Michael Hayes, I agree with you. He's dead wrong about Chelsea Green. But I still think he's still one of the fucking best. And I still respect him being in the position that he's in. We just don't agree with this particular thing, Grizzle.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, like, Jim Cornette, Michael Hayes, they're all set in what they like in their styles. Right. I wouldn't say Cornette hates current wrestling. He has, because if you listen to his show on a regular basis, this man has been a supporter of Braun Breaker since the beginning.
Right.
He likes Oba Femi. He doesn't have a problem with Trick. He likes the guys that look like wrestlers. Right. So,
right, but I mean, he's not,
and your Kip
Sabian, he hates AEW.
Yes, he hates.
Yes. He does not like AEW. Let's go with that.
That's kind of what I meant, but he doesn't like that product. I don't think he was a fan of ECW. Right. Stuff that was just it's different. It's
right.
Different.
Well, it's because he is a wrestling purist, right? A wrestling purist. He believes that professional wrestling is what it always has been in his head.
Yeah.
This new shit. Look, but this the old timers being like this isn't anything new. No. Look, one of the fucking goddamn best of all time, one of the legends, Harley fucking Race. When he was doing the business, and Grizzled I can't remember the name of the guy who said this guy's not gonna make it. He looks like a fucking cartoon. We're talking about Harley fucking Race. This was said about him. And look what he went on to do. The prior generation is always going to look at the newer generation as these guys don't know what they're doing or have something.
Yeah. Ole Anderson said Undertaker would never draw a dime. Right. Mark Callis would never draw a dime. So, well, shit.
Right. But I mean, what I heard about Harley, because I never worked him or anything, but they said Harley, could make anybody look good, and he worked to their style. Mm-hmm. He didn't work his style when he worked you. He worked to his, he worked to your style.
Right, but my point is,
so
when Harley Race was new, and the prior generation, the prior person saying that about him, someone said that about Harley Race right now, you'd want to slap the shit out of him because Harley Race went on to become fucking Harley Race. You know what I'm saying?
One of the greatest, yes.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, we criticized it when they said John Moxley was the next like Harley. We were like, what?
Right. My point in that story was, your Jim Cornettes and a lot of your other guys from that generation, they're going to say what they're going to say about this newer generation if the wrestling is any different from what they came up. Back in their day. Grizzle, you look like you want to say something.
Well, no, I was just gonna, we keep bringing up Cornette order. And Robbie, I'm sure you had a chance to be in a locker room with him back in the WCW time. I did a couple shows out here in Texas with him, and it was the indie shows, and he was in the locker room, and I was standing right there when he was telling indie talent, "Hey, I like what you did." He was going up to these young kids, going, "I like what you did. Try doing this. Try this a little bit." Jim Cornette, if he likes what you're doing, he'll give you advice. I mean, he was talking to every one of them. I would do this instead of this. Try doing something like this. And to sit and listen to him put together like a finish for a match is absolutely amazing because he's so detailed, telling everybody, now you do this, then this, and this, and this. And you listen to him and you're like, well, that don't. But then when you see it come to place, it's really good. What he does in the podcast, I kind of think it's more of a character because you expect him to be pissed off and hate it. But I've actually gotten a chance to see him talk to indie guys and say, hey, you're good, but try this.
Right.
And I've also seen him tell somebody, you know what, dude, if you can't throw a punch, don't fucking swing your arm, okay? Don't swing your fist until you learn to throw a punch.
Let me tell you about Jim Cornette. And I sincerely mean this with all of my heart. I really do. I could literally have The Undertaker on this show. Literally. And I will still say that was awesome, but I've still not felt like I've gotten to that level of success yet. The only time, and I can have fucking 10,000 subscribers. I will not feel like I've come to that success with this podcast until I'm able to sit down and interview Jim Cornette because of how high in regards, fuck off, that how high in regards that I hold Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette may not be a professional wrestler, but you can bet your fucking ass that he is on my Mount Rushmore because I love the guy. He's so many memories. Jim Cornette, and you guys may be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Jim Cornette reminds me of a physical comedian, a guy that had the capability of making you laugh because of how physical they could be and what they put their bodies through. That was Jim Cornette for me as a kid. As much as I hated the guy, I loved him. And he would make me laugh. And Grizzle, you know what? That's awesome that you got to interview the guy. But I do take offense. I take offense that you are a very big part of this podcast now, and you still haven't offered to get the motherfucker on here. What is wrong with you?
Okay, let me preface this. I never booked Jim Cornette.
I know.
The guy that I worked with, who was the promoter, who was booking Jim Cornette, got him to do the show with us. So
yeah.
Believe me, I had.
You were just in the right place, right time. Believe me, you're a big of nobody. It's just like me. Actually, guys, I'm joking. Grizzle Vet is much more than I will ever be with professional wrestling. He's such a historian, and you guys should really check out his show, Wrestling Memories. I'm telling you, the man's mind when it comes to the history of professional wrestling is absolutely amazing. And to listen to him talk on both this podcast and on his radio show amazes me as well, because he is such a pure and great speaker. He really is.
All right, I'll send the money on your Cash App after the show.
No, and I wasn't taking a shot at Jim.
No, I know what you're saying.
Oh, no, we weren't.
I mean, he was. I mean, you go back and watch or listen to him when he did the commentary with like Jim Ross and whatever. He was great. He was great as a mouthpiece with the Midnight Express. You know, he was in.
Have you ever heard him do color commentary with Tony Schiavone? Let me tell you, it's only been a couple of times. I found it on YouTube. Of any times you want to say, Tony, just stop talking, that's one of those times. It's like you're in the presence of greatness. Shut up, Tony. Let Jim Cornette talk. You know. But let's get back, guys, to Monday Night Raw. I mean, to SmackDown.
We don't even know what we're talking about now.
Yep. Backstage with Orton, Kathy Kelly. Man, Kathy was busy tonight. She catches up with Orton ahead of the main event match and asks how he's approaching a spot in the Elimination Chamber. Orton is interrupted by Aleister Black, who says look, man, we just lost two of the greats, Cena, AJ Styles, but we still have you, Orton. Kind of, a little bit. It's kind of a hit to Orton. But it was reminded that if Randy Orton did win this would be his fucking 10th Elimination Chamber. Randy Orton was in the Elimination Chamber back when the floors of the Elimination Chamber around the chambers were no joke. Motherfuckers were legit getting hurt because they were made out of steel or whatnot.
They had the corrugated steel, but they didn't have the mats around the outside yet.
What were they thinking? You're supposed to be protecting your guys. And, you know, I've actually heard fans go on to bitch that they changed it to where these guys are more protected. What kind of fucking professional wrestling fan are these people that you want these guys and these women to actually get hurt? That is the type of fuckery from fans that I can't hold my tongue with, and I literally go off when they say stupid shit like that.
I had a guy talk wrestling to me one time back at my job years ago, and I was listening to a podcast. He goes, "Oh, you're a wrestling fan?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I don't watch this shit anymore. I watched it back in the day when it was real and guys really died in the ring." What the fuck wrestling were you watching? And he just left. I'm like, you watched the old shit when they actually died in the ring? What the fuck?
Was he watching Face of Death wrestling style? Do you remember those videos back in the day?
That guy always stands out I watched it back when it was real and guys actually died in the ring. And I'm like, what the fucking shit?
Do you guys remember those VHS videos? They're called Face of Death.
Yes.
Way back in the day.
Faces of Death, yeah.
Yeah, way back in the day. Next, guys, we go to my least favorite character in WWE. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. He's one of my least
Hendry
favorite.
wasn't on the show yet today.
Yeah, it's one of my least favorite.
New NXT champion, by the way.
Who's that?
Joe Hendry.
Yeah, fuck it. Talking about Kit Wilson. Talking about his toxic masculinity shit. Saying all these guys are all Rumble, bunch of 30 men, all toxic, trying to prove their manhood. But Kit says he's the real man because he's the one that moisturizes. Bray Wyatt had me cracking up. Yeah, you gotta be moist. You know, someone who listens. And then he challenges anybody from the Royal Rumble to come to the ring so he can show them who the real man is. And then, of course, the lights go down, the music hits, and this is where I have a problem. Now we have to go back to Monday Night Raw.
Oh, boy. Here we go. I knew this was coming. I knew it.
We have to go back, Grizzled, to the War Raiders. We have to go back to something that you said on Thursday night, last night, when we were talking about this.
Uh-huh.
That you didn't have a problem with it because
I did not.
What you're doing, hold on, by burying the War Raiders, although you didn't look at it the way I do, but hold on. Robbie agreed with me.
Robbie's old.
There's you're taking two guys, part of a tag team who supposed to be these badasses, but because Femi is such a badass that he was able to absolutely have his way with them. Well, this is the problem. If they were going to do that to the War Raiders, and this is the only way they could do it, as you said, that's basically, you can't really have some weak little fucking person, or because that would make it look good, or have local talent, a tag team, because what's that going to prove? No. Instead, they got the badass Kit Wilson. The baddest motherfucker that absolutely, if there was anybody that can prove that Femi was this fucking man beast, well, that's by dominating Kit Wilson. No, all that did was prove to me that what Robbie said was right. Who did the War Raiders piss off? Because I'm sorry, you're literally putting them at the level of a fucking Kit Wilson. Because, as you said, and this is your words, you got to have, I'm paraphrasing, you got to basically have, someone that is capable of making Oba look like this man beast. So again, you couldn't just have some weak little person or the local tag teams, because what would that prove? So Grizzle, what the fuck did this prove tonight? It's Kit Wilson.
Are you done?
Just call me Jim Cornette. No, I'm joking. Okay. I wish I could be as effective as just Jim Cornette.
I'll be curious to see what Jim says about Femi's debut on Raw. I'll be curious. No, this one was a little bit kind of a step down, obviously. You're not going to prove you're this like psycho man beast by manhandling Kit Wilson. This one was more of a toxic masculinity. I am a real man, blah, 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 to piss off fans. And then Oba comes out, squish, and the fans go, ha, 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 ha. It was kind of that thing, because that's what Kit Wilson is. So, I still stand behind what I said to prove him as dominant as this monster to go through the War Raiders. I had no issue with that. This one was more just for let Kit run his mouth, and then somebody comes out and squashes him. And we've seen this in wrestling for decades.
Sure.
Big Show does it. Ultimate Warrior's done it. Everybody's done it. They run their mouth and they pay the price.
Sure. Or the War Raiders. The War Raiders.
You're like my son. He can't say his R's either.
War. No, it's just fucking. I hate the name War Raiders.
It's better than the Viking Experience. That sounds like
I do agree with you with that. But nonetheless, Robbie was right. and I think I was right. What the fuck did they do? Robbie, do you understand what I'm saying about tonight compared to Raw?
Yes.
Compared to what Grizzled said? Where you stand with this, man?
I mean, could have done without this whole segment. I mean,
well, yeah, it was unnecessary, but
right.
You know.
But I mean, the mass, whatever, this toxicity, whatever,
toxic masculinity.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's a joke. It's just, you know, it has no place.
Right. Well, let me stop you for a second, real quick.
Okay.
This is my problem with this. And I'm not going to go into a big detailed conversation about it.
Right.
I don't talk politics. But I don't want politics in my professional wrestling. We can't control what the fans chant. That's fine, whatever. Right. But as far as creative, I don't want it in there. And this is very much a political thing. It is. I think that it is WWE making their statement on what they think about things by making fun of it. And that's as deep as I'm going to go into it. My point is, I don't want it in my professional wrestling. I watch professional wrestling to take a break from the real world. Right. 100%. Go ahead, Robbie.
I totally agree. I mean, we've all been taught, we talked about this. There's two things in life you don't talk about. And I think, like, for Hollywood, professional athletes and all that stuff, everybody, you keep that stuff to yourself. That's, to me, it's like, okay, for me to go and ask you, who'd you vote for? Well, that's your right. That's your private right. I don't have any business to ask you that. And I agree with you. I don't want politics in there. This is why you watch that stuff, why you watch sports, to get away from all of this stuff. And now it's starting to become a big part of it. And it just doesn't make it, entertaining anymore.
Right. Grizzle, without going into the rabbit hole, you know what I'm saying? Your thoughts on this? I mean, do you agree that, man, I just want to be entertained. I don't care what side you're on. I don't want any type of a statement made in my entertainment.
I agree with both of you. I agree with both of you. When I turn on wrestling, that's my escape. Just like when I do this show to talk about this wrestling and talk with you guys, that's my escape.
Right.
I don't. As far as Kit Wilson's character goes, I wouldn't say political. I would say it's more just kind of a reflection of society right now, because toxic masculinity is a big topic now. I wouldn't say political. I'd say it's more society. And we've seen this in wrestling for years. Yes. They'll pick up something and they come up with a character. And that's what Kit Wilson is right now. Honestly, Kit Wilson has a job. He's not getting kicked to the curb because of what happened to his partner. So, do what you do. Do I want to see it? But I wouldn't say it's political. But I agree with you. Even society shit, I don't want in my wrestling. Right. I want to see wrestling.
Right, but you could have given him another character.
Right. Well, but this is the thing. I was about to go there. So. You said that, he's on TV. He's still working. He kicked to the curb. I wish Kit Wilson would get kicked to the curb. Not the man, Kit Wilson. His character.
Right.
I wish they would redo both of their characters, because even when they tried to have them baby faces, they're not over. So, and both of these men are very talented in the ring. They are. They're athletically, they're very talented. I would love to see them come up with another character with their tag team and be over either as heels or baby faces, and actually be two guys that when you hear they're facing someone for number one contendership or for the title, that you're like, holy shit, they may actually have a chance to win. Because right now, I don't feel that way about either one of them. And I think that it's not justice for them. Because again, I do think that they're two incredibly athletic individuals. Grizzle?
See, now there I'll disagree with you, because I liked Pretty Deadly. I thought the concept, the character, I thought everything with Pretty Deadly was great. The only problem is, when they put it on the main roster, they unfortunately had to tweak it a little bit, and it didn't have that. I prefer what they were doing, like with NXT and NXT UK, stuff like that. Right. But I like Pretty Deadly. I would love to have Pretty Deadly back the way they were.
Right, and I wasn't familiar with them that much in NXT, so I I can't even argue that point with you because maybe they were better. But on the main roster, I don't know, Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, I liked them. I didn't mind them as Pretty Deadly and stuff, but yeah, and they kind of tweaked them when they got them up to the main roster. I didn't have a problem with them, but yeah, they're both talented. I just, if you're gonna do something, I definitely, why would give the guy a chance to go on his own, definitely change that character,
right?
Because it's a joke. It's just no, I don't think there's any fans that are taking it seriously.
Yeah. Well, and here's a big question for both of you guys before we move on. And because I agree with you, it is a joke. If they keep on having Kit play this, understand that this was part of their tag team as well, but now it's just him. Man, are they getting close to a line of destroying Kit Wilson where his character would never be able to recover even when his tag team partner comes back? Robbie, start with you and then go to Grizzled.
Okay.
Yeah, to me, I think they're destroying them.
Now, but is there any coming back from this, do you think?
It's going to be rough. I mean, real rough. It's going to be hard for them.
Yep. Grizzled?
I don't think they're destroying him. I think they're just putting a new spotlight on him. And if Elton can come back, I think they can get right back into it because he could just easily join in and be, I support you in your whatever, and they can go back to doing Pretty Deadly. I don't see an issue with it.
Okay. Enough. Next, R-Truth and Damian Priest. It starts off as a little comedy skit. Drew McIntyre's walking by, and Priest and Drew get in each other's face, and Priest is like, look, man. Again, fans paraphrasing. You know what? None, because you already have enough problems. Drew, frustrated, walks off. Do we need to elaborate more on the backstage segment before we go to what happened next, guys?
Nah. This is one of the backstage segments that wasn't necessary.
Right, I agree.
There was a couple of them.
Drew starts walking to the ring. And then Fatu comes out. Drew had a bad night tonight, guys. Fatu began whipping his ass. And it was chaos. Of course, security starts coming out, and Fatu's like, fuck you, security. He starts whipping their ass, too. Good old-fashioned beat down. I have no complaints with it. Robbie? Or no, it's start with Grizzled.
I thought it was entertaining because he comes out and Cody kicks his ass. He comes out, Jacob kicks his ass. I'm like, okay, are we done for the night? We'll find out we weren't, but it worked and it moves along the storyline because, like I said, they're going for a triple threat.
Where did I get there, Mister? Jesus, fuck.
Anybody who watched the show knows what's
God damn. It's like this is foreplay, and the motherfucker keeps on getting there before I want to get there. Calm down.
What do you know about foreplay? Sure, if we talk to your wife, she'll tell you not much.
I know enough. I have a hot wife, Robbie.
He knows enough. Hey, we've seen photo evidence. Robbie knows more than both of us. Okay.
So. Yeah, I was loving it because I was like, cool, I have to listen to Drew talk. So I was enjoying all that stuff. I'm like, cool. But yeah, and it was cool the way they had, Fatu throwing security around and stuff like that. So I was entertained with it.
No. Next, we go backstage. Nick Aldis and Fatu. Nick Aldis is saying, you guys say the same thing as Cody. Get the fuck out of here. You have your opportunity in the qualifier for Elimination Chamber match next week. Now, the point that Grizzled wants to keep on going to, which I agree with. The one thing that is saving the storyline for me, because again, I don't want to see another motherfucking Cody Rhodes and fucking Drew McIntyre. Goddamn, what is it, 10 weeks worth of storylines, just them two. No. But you're adding Fatu to it. Okay. Now I could deal. It'll add a better element to it. Something a little newer, a little fresher. Grizzled, here's a money shot. Take it.
I already said what I wanted to say. No, like I said, man, we all know it's coming to how they're going to get to it.
Right.
Is what I want to see. And that's kind of got my attention to keep watching SmackDown every week.
Yeah.
Because, they announced the Elimination Chamber qualifier match for next week. And you're kind of like, okay, let's see how you creatively do this. But, they got a couple months to set it up still. So
this is my fear, Grizzle and Robbie. They're going to do the same old tired-ass storyline that they always do. At the Elimination Chamber, either Cody or Fatu, one of them's going to win. And then it's going to be a big old fucking boo-boo fest for the other guy. And then the guy who won the Elimination Chamber is going to fucking be stupid and get talked to into, we're going to face each other, Cody, Fatu. And if Cody Rhodes wins, say Fatu wins the Elimination Chamber. If Cody Rhodes wins, Fatu agrees. If you can beat me, I'll let you fucking get in this with me. It could be a three-way match. Be you and Drew, WrestleMania. How many times have we seen this? I hope creative is more creative than that. Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell they're going to a triple threat with it. And I mean, I truthfully, I'd rather just see Fatu versus, Drew McIntyre. I don't even want to see Cody in on a three-way. I just, right. I'd rather just see it one-on-one.
Yeah. Look, real quick, I'll be honest with you. I would prefer to see Fatu, as you said, and Drew have Fatu win the title. And then Backlash. That's where Cody gets to have his title match at Backlash. It would actually make more sense, though, unfortunately. And you're going to hate this, Robbie. You're going to hate this. If they did it that way, though, it would make more sense if Drew actually kept the title at WrestleMania and then defended it at Backlash and dropped it to Cody then, because it just, I don't know, the story would just make more sense. Go ahead, Robbie.
No, but I just, like I said, it's going to be a three-way.
Right.
So,
right.
I'm just over the whole Cody, Drew, even though you're going to throw an extra person in.
Yeah. Now, Grizzle, am I on to something, though?
Yeah, I mean, that's another way they could go, but that just means, unfortunately, we're dragging out the Drew and Cody thing a little bit longer, which we're all tired of fucking seeing.
Oh, do you think it would make just as much sense, though, for Drew to drop it to Fatu and then at Backlash, it'd be Fatu and Cody? Because, after all, let's be honest, guys, it is Backlash. Backlash is all about getting your revenge, and Fatu's the one that's technically cost Cody Rhodes the title. The problem, though, is, can they keep Drew out of that fucking storyline at that point? Grizzle?
I would much rather see, if we do a singles match at Mania, I would much rather see a Fatu versus Drew, let Fatu win. Cody gets, and then we finally get that Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu match we want.
Right.
Like I said, it's still going to mix up, still a little bit different. We're not getting Drew and Cody again, and Drew can do the disappear and come back in a month or two and do something else.
This would be the problem, though, guys. If they did it that way, Fatu would drop the title of Cody Rhodes at Backlash. And when Fatu finally becomes champion, I don't want him to be a transitional champion. I want him to hold that title for an extended period of time. I just feel like, I don't know what Rhodes said, the only way I'm signing a contract, leaving AEW, coming back to WWE, is if you keep that title on me for the most part, or if Triple H or whomever's is that high in Cody Rhodes. But I don't foresee Cody not having that title. And I'll make a bold prediction right now. If Cody stays in WWE long enough, he could be the guy inching up to breaking that 17, carrying 18 times, beating the Cena record, the way The way they're treating Cody right now, he drops it, he gets it back right away within a couple of months.
I don't see that.
No?
I don't see Cody getting 15 more out. No.
Again, he drops it, he picks it up pretty quickly thus far. Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, he does. But like age-wise, what is he age-wise? I mean,
Well, right, and that's the thing. I don't think that Cody's going to be with the. I give Cody maybe another few years. I honestly, and I've made this prediction already. I think what's going to happen 40. Is, yep, he's 40. When Dustin retires, if Dustin is still going strong with the promotion he opened, within a couple of years of Dustin retiring and running his own promotion, I would not be surprised if Cody then retired to go help Dustin with their promotion. I just wouldn't. I could absolutely see that happening.
If Cody retires, he'll just go work full-time with the Nightmare Factory, which is their training
school. Or that too. My point in that comment about at the rate they're going, me seeing them doing the 18, was just that. At the rate they're going, he drops it, he picks it up within a month. For some reason, they're just that high on him right now. So, I don't know. Next, we go to Shinsuke Nakamura versus Tama Tonga with JC, Mateo, and Tonga Loa from the MFT. Good match. Didn't not think it wouldn't be a good match. I wouldn't say it was the match of the night. I definitely wouldn't say it was the worst match. It was a pretty standard match, in my opinion. Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, match was okay. And of course, you knew there was going to be interference because you had the two out, JC and Loa out there, so you knew there was going to be interference. So I mean, it's just predictable, but the match was good.
Yeah. Grizzled?
I liked the match. If anything, I wish we could have gotten a few minutes more.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was good. It was not what I was expecting, because like I said, I would have rather had a few more minutes, but no, decent match. But with the two out there, you knew there was going to be, interference and all that. And I like the fact they're giving Shinsuke a chance to kind of, work some good matches, because, they basically buried him for so long, especially with that stupid ninja Shibuya warrior gimmick thing here last year when he was a heel. So, but no, it was a good match. Like I said, not the best of the show, but decent.
I got to backtrack a little bit. Something I said earlier when I said that the only real promo that I thought was a waste of time was the Wyatt 6 thing. I lied, because I forgot about this next promo. This is the promo that I'm like, what the actual fuck? I'm talking about backstage with Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano laying down, or whatever the fuck he's laying down, his face in there, pouting, depressed, all over a fucking mask. There's Candice LeRae begging Fraxium to talk to him. There, fuck you, Candice. That was our match to begin with. Same thing, Motor Machine Guns, please talk to him, guys. And then they all walk off, and then there's Candice. It's going to be okay, baby. Why?
Yeah, this was the low point for me, where I just kind of went, what the okay.
Yeah. Like, come on, guys. I mean, this is Johnny Gargano, who is, damn talented man in the ring. Why are they doing this? They should keep him as the guy that's intense. I don't know. Robbie?
No, I mean, agree with you guys. You could have done without this. It was stupid.
Yeah, 100%. Next, we go to Kathy Kelly with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. They're talking about their match. Then Nia Jax, the last legend, comes in, talks about taking the titles, and as well as on talking about the Elimination Chamber qualifications. Didn't have a problem with this, even though it involved Last Legend and Nia Jax, because at least this was another promo that there was a point to it, and it made sense. Grizzled.
There's a point to it. It made sense. Unfortunately, it leads up to Lash and Nia versus Rhea and Io next week on SmackDown.
Right.
Which means we have to sit through that and then we have to talk about it. I'm going to be nice, though. I'm going to go in with positive thoughts. Yay, let's do this. We'll see what happens.
Yep, Robbie?
But yeah, no, it worked.
No, right. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they set it up, and we're, like you said, we got the match next week, so we'll see what happens.
Right.
I kind of agree with Vet that, you know, we're going with a positive attitude.
Guys, next we have a quick take of Judgment Day. Talk about Morgan and Raquel as they are walking to the ring. Before we get there, though, we have another backstage segment once it comes back from commercial with Kit Wilson with Matt Cardona. Guys, the gentleman that was with Matt Cardona, was that
It was Apollo Crews.
God, he looks like he's gotten small.
Yeah, he looks like he dropped some weight.
Holy shit. This was another, this wasn't as bad as the Johnny Gargano thing, but to me, this was kind of pointless as well. I get it. Kim and, Kit Wilson and Matt Cardona kind of had a little bit of an issue in the past, a couple of weeks ago. This to me could have been left off TV. Robbie?
Yeah, he could have left it off. This one nobody would care about is, are you trying to build a feud when you do put Kit Wilson and Matt Cardona in the ring together? So are you trying to build that up? But, I don't think the fans care about it too much.
No. Grizzled?
It was an okay promo. It's set up to get that Matt Cardona Kit Wilson blow off match, which we know is going to happen. But I'm with Robbie. I didn't recognize Apollo Crews there for a second. I didn't even realize he was still with the company.
Yeah, I was like, who is that? I went, Crews? Like, he's gotten small. Or at least it looks like it. Put it to you that way. Next, guys, we go to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez walking to the ring with Nick Aldis already in there. And they're talking to Liv Morgan, Royal Rumble winner. She addresses that maybe she'll pick Stephanie. Maybe she'll pick Jane. But hey, there's still an elephant in the room we need to address. Now, I find it funny that they said elephant in the room when they were talking about addressing Raquel Rodriguez. But I don't know, just a bit. And then Raquel grabs the freaking mic from her hand and says, yes, let's address the elephant in the room. And right as I'm like, oh shit, we're finally going to see something between these two, Jade Cargill's music hits. And Jade looks at Liv Morgan and says, basically, I don't give a shit about you. And then tells Raquel Rodriguez to shut up. And then we see Jordynne Grace interrupts. This turns into a catty argument. And Nick Aldis tells them all to shut up. That this is going to now be a tag team match. Jordynne and Jade Cargill against Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. Not a bad match. Of course, we've seen Jade accidentally kick Jordynne. And we also see accidentally kick Liv Morgan. I'm going to be honest, the finish is what I had a problem with. That was a terrible roll-up. That was a weak as fuck looking roll-up to pin Raquel. It really was. Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, match was okay. But yeah, but the way they're going, you wonder. I mean, I was kind of hoping when they said, when Liv and Raquel we're going to address the elephant in the room. I was hoping, okay, now we're going to get something and maybe they're going to split them up.
Right.
Of course, Jade had to come out. And of course, they're building that up with Jade and Jordynne. And I guess, are they going to try to throw Raquel in there too now?
Yeah. I can tell you that they do that. And I said this, I might have said this Thursday or last week, Friday, that Liv better be the babyface. Because the fans they're not going to have anything to do with Raquel as a baby face. Matter of fact, you guys noticed, but when Jade and Raquel were face to face, the fans were chanting for Jade.
Yeah. But I mean, I can see them going Jade, Jordynne, and Raquel in a three-way.
For WrestleMania? Yeah, I thought about that too. I hope not. But they actually will get to that segment. Why? Maybe not. Grizzled?
But, I mean, hope not, but if they keep, because you just see that they keep putting Raquel in these positions.
Right. But again, we'll get to that segment where something interesting happened.
Okay.
Well, Grizzled?
The match was all right, but yeah, no, same thing. The elephant in the room. Okay, they're going to tease something between the two of them. And then, but yeah, no. So Jade came out. Jade and Jordynne. Match is okay. Finish wasn't the best, like you said. It looked kind of like, sad. But, yeah. Was what it was.
Yeah. Next, we have a boo-boo face, Sami Zayn, backstage. Couple people passing by, better luck next time. You almost had him, my man. Ray Phoenix comes up and tries to give him a pep talk. Trick Williams comes up and basically says, "Oh, Sami Zayn, always a bridesmaid, never the bride. Can't get it done, man." Then we see words exchanged between Trick Williams and Ray Phoenix. Guys, what you guys think about this? We got to think about, obviously we're going to see a match, Ray Phoenix against Trick Williams at some point. It looks like they're building something up, maybe, possibly. Guys, interested in a match between these two? Start with you, Grizzle.
I wouldn't mind seeing a match between the two of them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind that at all. So, promo worked. It kind of like, oh, Sammy, it's okay. You'll get him next time. It worked.
Mm-hmm. Robbie, what's next for Sammy, man?
Who knows?
I thought you could say, who cares? I'm like, I agree with you.
I was thinking about it. But when you said that, I was gonna say maybe hopefully a push out the back door. But yeah, see Trick and Sammy. I think Trick is kind of stepped up. They've definitely made a right choice in pulling him up. Right.
We stay backstage. We see Jordynne Grace and Jade Cargill arguing. Nick Aldis says next week for the title. You two. Now, let's say Jade, first let's start with Jade. Say Jade actually wins this match. Robbie, do you still think we're just going to see a three-way?
If Jade wins, yeah, I'd still say yes.
What if Jordynne wins?
Yeah, because Jade's going to want a rematch, and
so
somehow
no matter what, just be a three-way.
Well, just because they keep pushing Raquel in the storylines, that's the only reason why I kind of went that way, is because they keep trying to push her, and I've heard rumors through social media, and I know you take that with a grain of salt, that they're talking about trying to give Raquel a big push, but I just don't think here's my thing, just like I said last night about Brody King or whatever. Yep. Raquel couldn't carry that division.
Right. Grizzle, here's a question though.
Okay.
And let's start with the three-way, and then I'm going to ask for predictions from you. If we indeed have a three-way at WrestleMania with Drew, Cody, and Fatu for the men's, though, that title, do you think WWE is going to put in another three-way, but this time the women?
I don't see why not. It's two nights. It's two nights. You know, they could easily do it one. Don't put them both on the same night. No.
Right.
But, no, they could do just do it on the second night or whatever. I don't see an issue with it. I see an issue of doing it up on both nights or on the same night. But
Next question. Do you think that there's no way they're taking this title off of Jade right now to put it on Jordynne Grace? Or do you no, this is the time, WrestleMania, build the story, add to it. This youngster Jordynne Grace coming in fresh off of NXT, and holy shit, she pins Jade Cargill to win the title. Prediction.
I ain't gonna lie, I want Jordynne to win this match next week. I ain't gonna fucking lie. I love Jordynne. No, I'm Jordynne all the way.
Okay, cool. Next, guys, we go to the recap for Monday Night Raw. CM Punk, Roman Reigns. Do we need to discuss this?
No.
I agree. Next, we see Drew come back to the ring because, by God, he wants to get some shit out.
He's got something to say, God damn it.
He made me laugh. I'm not going to lie. When he went down the list, talking about the legends, the titles, and then when he came to Dusty, he says, not Dusty Rhodes. I put a smile on my face. Look, this is one of Drew McIntyre's better promos he cut tonight, in my opinion. Didn't mind it. Robbie?
Yeah, it was okay. I still was hoping they'd send somebody else out to kind of beat the shit out of him, and I wouldn't have to hear him talk. But since I had to hear him talk, he did pretty well.
Yeah, I know what? At the end, I thought that was going to happen, and we'll get there. It didn't, but I thought maybe. Grizzled?
It was an all right promo. I didn't mind it. Like I said, I was waiting to see who came out next. It just seemed to be that game of who's going to interrupt him this week or this time.
Well, someone did come out next, and it was Trick Williams. And I thought, shit, are we going to see Drew get his ass kicked by the lemon pepper freaking stepper or whatever the fuck he called it?
Lemon pepper stepper?
Yeah. It's a fucking dumb name, but whatever.
Right.
I use lemon pepper all the time to cook with. Anyway, so Trick Williams comes out and he cuts a little small promo on Drew. And he, basically says he's coming for him. And Drew says, boy, you better learn to fucking walk before you run. You know what? Tonight was the night that Trick Williams actually caught my attention and impressed me since he's been on the main roster the past couple of times. Tonight, I actually was impressed by him. I thought he did really well cutting those promos tonight. Grizzled?
Yeah, well, I think Robbie and I, we've both been fans of it since the beginning. So, we saw something you didn't, but I think that's because we saw more of him, NXT and all that before you did. So,
right. Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, I thought when they brought him up, I wasn't sure how he was going to handle, the push and stuff, but he's handled it well. I think he's done a great job. That was kind of like why I said, what was at the Royal Rumble. I thought he would have held his own. I mean, my opinion, but I mean, I wasn't sure how he was going to handle being brought up to the roster. Mm-hmm. I think he's done a far better job than I thought he'd do good, but he's passed those expectations.
Yeah. Guys, next we go to a backstage segment, which at the time it wasn't really confusing, but there was no follow through, and we'll get there.
Right.
Solo looking for his family. Now, this leads us directly to that triple threat match for the Elimination Chamber qualifier. Orton, Solo, and Aleister Black. The family never showed up, so I'm expecting this is going to lead us to something next week on SmackDown, because if there was no signs of them for the rest of the night, they didn't show up for the main event. And let's not forget, this is a three-way match, which means there's no disqualification. So, good match. I enjoyed it. I was thrilled that it was Randy Orton that won, to be honest with you. Here's a question for both of you about Randy Orton. Do you think that Randy Orton has been there long enough that obviously Randy can't go to whomever and say, hey, put the title on me? But if they came to Randy Orton and say, hey, God, we want to put you in the main storyline right now. We want you to carry the company with the title. Do you think Randy has been there long enough that he could say, nah, I don't want that right now? And if so, do you think this is why we've not seen a title run from Randy in so long? Because he just likes what he's doing right now, and he doesn't want that on him. Start with you, Grizzle.
No, Randy's definitely in a position that he can say, I don't want it right now. Or let's not go that route. He can do what Randy can do whatever he wants right now. And they're gonna let him do it.
But with exception, I don't think that he can go backstage and say, put the title on me, though.
Well, no, not that. But I mean, if they say, hey, we'd like to do this, he could say no.
Yeah. Robbie, do you think, it's possibility the reason why we haven't seen that title run from him in quite a while is because he likes what he's doing right now. It's not a whole lot of pressure. He's having fun.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. So, I mean, in the match, I was kind of, you knew Orton was going to win it, but the way that Tessa kept saying, hey, this would be Solo's first time, I was kind of hoping that they'd put Solo over, just cause,
Not me. I honestly, as much as I wanted Randy to win, that was probably the one that Aleister Black to win.
See, I didn't want Black to win.
I'm saying I did because look, we know that Randy's not going to WrestleMania for the title. Aleister Black wouldn't have been either. Neither would have Solo, right? These are the guys that's just going to put on a damn good match for the fans to watch. Because of that, I would have minded Aleister Black. I really wouldn't have. Grizzled, right guy to win it?
I would have liked to have seen Solo get it just because, get that win, go on Elimination Chamber. No, he's not going to win the Elimination Chamber, so we're fine. I didn't have an issue with the promo before it either, where he's looking for the family and all of a sudden the screen crackles. You're like, okay, you took the lantern, and he took your family. Okay. It did enough. It was subtle enough. We didn't have to have a long extended promo. We already saw Bo Wyatt do his Bray Dallas impression. So I was fine with it. The match was good. I like the finish. Solo waiting. I want to get to the spike. Randy's like backing up and then just back. Because I love the fact RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, because we've seen this with both Carmelo Hayes and with Randy Orton tonight. As they were walking to the ring tonight, there was a kid with a notebook, wanted autographs, I assume, and they both made the gesture of doing the autograph, but then pointed to the ring first. I'm like, what's going on with this kid and these, with Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes? Because especially Randy was like, hold on, it's like, was this when they knew? Did you guys see that tonight? Pick that up?
No,
I didn't see that.
Yeah. As they're walking, the kid was sitting kind of against the barricades, on the entrance, right before they got to the ring. Go back to watch it.
It could be something. Maybe it was a kid there through a Make-A-Wish thing or something, or there is like on the internet, what's his name? World Wrestling Kid. You see his videos where he asks some questions and things. Could be something like that. With social media now, there's so many kids that are known for shit that they're probably, and it might have been just something they knew of ahead of time, especially if they're actually saying, hey, I'll get you after this, So.
Right. Let's talk about Elimination Chamber for a second. Just with the guys, I don't know that's in there right now. Anything's a possibility. But as we talked about, we're pretty sure that, we know it's going to be definitely CM Punk, Roman Reigns. And then with Drew, Cody Rhodes, and Fatu. What's the possibility that we're wrong with that and they swerve us and we actually have a Randy Orton win that Elimination Chamber?
Anything's possible.
Well, it is possible, but the likelihood, Robbie?
Likelihood probably slim to none, but it would be kind of cool if they did do that,
And that's my next question. Would you guys prefer to see something where they swerved us with Randy Orton or someone else Or no, you guys are pretty sold on. Let's do the Cody Rhodes in 5-2 versus Drew McIntyre.
I'm good with a swerve, something a little different, and then maybe let Cody and Fatu do their thing at Mania, so they still get their Mania spot. I would have no problem with a swerve if it was in Orton. You know what? And I know this is going to make Robbie just cringe right now. He might like reach up and slap me. They could do something weird, and it could be a Sami Zayn again where he gets that last match against Drew at Mania, and then he gets the win. Let him be a transition champion, but Sami finally gets to be the world champion because they've been pushing that storyline. I would be fine with that if they went that weird route. And with the eliminator match, the elimination qualifier match next week, you could see it because it's Cody versus Jacob versus Sami. Cody and Jacob could do something where Sami could capitalize and get into that elimination chamber.
Right.
So there is that possibility. And I wouldn't mind seeing that. As much as you guys don't give Sami that one Mania moment, let him be champion, and then have him face it and put it on somebody else. But give him that
It's not that I don't like Sami. It's that I am tired of Sami.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, give him that Mania spot.
But
he's not going to be around much longer. A couple more years left in him.
Make no mistake about it. Sami's going to be in that elimination chamber match. I'm 100% sure of that. Some way, somehow, he's going to be there. Robbie?
Yeah, I mean,
like Grizzled said.
You know what? I can agree with him. I mean, like I said, I've just never been a Sami Zayn fan from day one. You know, but I could see that. I could see, you know, okay, he's 0-13, you know, having his WrestleMania moment and putting it on him and stuff like that. I would rather see a swerve than see, you know, the triple threat we talked about. I mean,
but he's with AEW.
Who?
Swerve.
Oh, not Swerve.
I'm joking.
Look, I've been up since 2:30, you know.
Come on, my guy wraps up, man. Needs to go to bed.
But I mean, it would be cool. Even who I'd like to see him throw in there. I'd like to see Trick in there and put him against Drew at WrestleMania.
I don't think Trick's ready for a Mania like that yet.
I kind of disagree, but you know,
we'll see. Well, look, I just want to take the next 45 minutes. No, I'm just joking. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. And let's also not forget that on Tuesday, again, we'll be talking about Monday Night Raw. And also on the 11th, Eric Steves, he's going to be on. He's with Veterans Pro Wrestling. And then, guys, on the 18th, again, Candy Crush, she's going to be on from Wild Professional Wrestling. And the 23rd, Mike Kinney, great guy from the local scene here. And I just lost my dates. On 25th, Bob Johnson and none other than Ross Hart. Grizzle?
Rasslin Memories, Pioneer 90.1 FM KSRQ. Find us at radionorthland.org, TuneIn Radio, or the Pioneer Community Radio app, Sundays at 12 p.m. Central. We have an upcoming interview with David Sahadi talking about his book, Backstage Pass, which comes out next month. Also, the Grizzled Vet yourself will be a guest on Carmela's Rasslin Radio Rewind next Thursday, February 12th. I will be recording with her doing a review, so I'm looking forward to that one. And, of course, you know, you'll find me here.
Yep. Robbie?
May 9th at the Twisted Fork, and it is the main event is a bunkhouse brawl, and it's 3-on-3, 3 versus 3. So it's Robbie Cook, Joe Sarcino, and Chief Eddie Two Rivers versus myself, Richie Paradise, and Brian Johnson. No, not the AC/DC Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson, different Brian Johnson. So that it is set. So May 9th at 2:30 in the afternoon. Get out there early. I'll be there. I'll have my book. If you want to get a copy, I'll even sign it for you. If you want, I'll even take a picture with you.
There you fans go. Guys, also don't forget to follow me on Facebook, KG Landry. Follow Get Your Bell Rung Up Pro Wrestling Podcast also on the Facebook. And don't forget about FanFest 4, May 8th through the 9th. Go to SICW.org to find out more. Until then, you guys have a great weekend. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.